conference model. So I'm going to go through this. It's going to be really short. I know that we have drinks and alcoholic cupcakes to take care of. So I have an idea, something that I've been researching and kind of working on in a program that I'm in at UCLA related to professional learning communities. And I think it's a really good bridge from everything that we've done today to a potentially new model of professional development at Chadwick. So I just wanted to take a minute to talk about that and invite you guys to join a professional learning community if you're interested. There's stuff on the table if you want to start looking into some of the things that I'm going to talk about. But first, I just want you to think for a second about what you want professional development to look like at Chadwick. And just turn and talk to the person next to you. What's maybe one or two things that you want out of professional development and out of professional learning at Chadwick? Just take 30 seconds. Talk to the person next to you.
We always find we feel like the videos we go somewhere else and we get the stuff, and in reality there's so much of it here.
Yeah, I just feel like it's so easy to get to the classroom when you're just but when you have a chance to.
All right. So raise your hand if you said something about professional development being relevant. That you want something to be relevant. Useful. Yeah. How many people? I talked to people at lunch who said, the session's going great today. I love the unconference, but I don't know what to do next, right? Did anybody feel like that today? Like, great ideas, what now? Great ideas, but we asked more questions, or we raised more questions than we answered, right? So what I'm looking to do is create an approach to professional development where we can really continue the work from today. So when I ask this question myself, what I imagine for professional development, I think about a couple different things. I'd like professional learning to be a way of life at Chadwick, which I think to some extent it already is. I'd love it to be teacher-driven, a lot like what we did today, but where teachers are saying, this is what I need to learn, this is what my classroom needs, so this is what I'm going to go out and find out about. I'd love for it to be collaborative, teachers working together, which I think was one of the best things about the day. And then in general as a school, I think we're at this really kind of cool place where we have these big visions, the core competencies, and ultimately it's up to the teachers to figure out how those big visions become reality. So I think we're in a place right now where we can start to think about taking these big lofty ideas and turning them into actual results in our classroom. So the proposal for today and for kind of moving forward into the spring is to develop a professional learning community model at Chadwick. Has anybody heard that term before? Professional learning community?
Heard from you.
Does anybody have a definition of it? Rob?
When I think about professional learning communities, I don't necessarily have a definition, but I think job embedded, an opportunity to look at things both vertically and horizontally at the school, research based, using practices that could benefit the school and the whole community.
Awesome. The definition that I'm using, I think it's used in a lot of different ways, and people kind of throw the term around, but professional learning community, at least as I'm thinking about it for the spring, is an ongoing process in which educators work collaboratively in recurring cycles. Can you guys all see that? I'm standing right in front of us. In which educators work collaboratively in recurring cycles of collective inquiry and action research to improve student learning. So kind of the simple version would be small groups of teachers learning together about interesting stuff that makes us better teachers. So it's sort of what we did today, but with a much more intentional cycle. So today was sort of the gateway drug to a PLC. It's kind of like to get us thinking, to get us kind of like interested in topics. And then this is how the process would work. So in small groups, looking at a particular focus, so think about all the things you looked at today, you would research and read about best practice on that topic. There are tons of resources out there. We have great guest speakers come in from time to time, but we're all, like Rob said this morning, we have a ton of brain power in this room. There are tons of great resources out there. So you'd research, you'd read about, you'd study the topic that you're looking at. So how to make learning relevant, fostering grit, standards-based grading, whatever it is you're interested in. You collect evidence, so this is really kind of data-driven. You figure out where your students are when it comes to this particular topic. So formative assessments, surveys, and actually get evidence